Hello and welcome to the third session of the Rapid Revision Crash Course for UPSC Prelims 2026 by Shikra Academy. In this session, we shall be discussing about tiger conservation. We'll discuss about the status of tigers, the tiger census, the tiger reserves, and the national and international initiatives taken for tiger conservation. Now, before moving forward, we at Shikra Academy are thrilled to announce our rapid revision batch for UPSC Prelims 2026. Now, if you are serious about cracking UPSC Prelims 2026, this rapid revision batch is built exactly for you. Guided personally by Deepika Reddy ma'am to sharpen every topic with clarity. Join us on 22nd December and give your prelims preparation the focus, the boost, and the push it deserves. With 100 plus live classes, with more than 50 sectional and full length tests, with live doubt discussions and guidance, and complete coverage of GS static and current affairs. All this at an introductory price of rupees 5,000 only. The Indian tiger or the Royal Bengal tiger, if we have to discuss the conservation status. So, according to the IUCN Red List, the species of Indian tiger or the Royal Bengal tiger is endangered and it is listed in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And it also is placed under Appendix 1st or Appendix 1 of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, that is CITES. If we discuss about the characteristics of tigers, so tigers are the largest extant cat species in the world. Okay. And they are the tigers, the Indian tiger or the Royal Bengal tiger is the national animal of India. It's an apex predator and it primarily preys on ungulates like the deers as well as the wild boars. The tigers are highly territorial and are generally solitary but social predators. They require large contiguous area for their habitat. And the usual habitats for tigers are tropical rainforests, marshes, and tall grasses. And the Royal Bengal tiger is particularly found in India, in Bangladesh, in Nepal, Bhutan, and areas of China and Myanmar. Now, out of all the global population of tigers, India is home to approximately 75% of global tiger population, and India has the largest population of the Royal Bengal tiger. And among the Indian states, the state having the maximum number of tigers is the state of Madhya Pradesh. So Madhya Pradesh has the largest or the highest number of tigers in the country. And if we have to discuss the threats that the tigers today face, mainly that is the habitat loss, the human wildlife conflict, as well as poaching and the wildlife crime. Now, the story for tiger conservation starts in the last century, that is in the year 1972. Okay, in the year 1972-73, the national animal of India, that is tiger, was facing a silent extinction. The 20th century saw a catastrophic decline in the Bengal tiger population. The tiger population was estimated at 40,000 at the turn of the 20th century. But due to rampant hunting as well as the habitat loss, the tiger numbers they got decimated. The tigers numbers they came down substantially. And the first ever all India tiger census in the year 1972, it delivered a very shocking and rude verdict that only 1827 tigers remained in the wild, and the country was on the verge of losing its most iconic species, that its national animal. So they were estimated to be around 40,000 in the year 1900, and in the census of 1972 only 1827 tigers were left. Now, realizing the declining number, on seeing the declining number of tigers, the government of India launched the Project Tiger. It was launched as an unprecedented conservation effort. On 1st April 1973, India launched the Project Tiger. It is a centrally sponsored scheme with a clear mandate to protect the Bengal tiger as well as protecting the habitat of the tigers. The strategy was visionary, treating the tiger as an umbrella species. And the philosophy held that by ensuring the viable tiger population, the entire ecosystem of forests, of co-predators, and the prey population will also be protected. Okay. So Project Tiger was launched in the year 1973 at the Jim Corbett National Park. Okay, this is an important fact that the Project Tiger was launched at Jim Corbett National Park. Initially, we established 9 tiger reserves across different states in the country. Okay. So initially, 9 tiger reserves were established as part of the Project Tiger. Now that number has increased to 58. Okay. Currently, we have 58 tiger reserves in the country, but it all started with the establishment of 9 tiger reserves in the year 1973. And the core philosophy of the Project Tiger was to protect tiger as well as to protect the habitat or the forest in which the tiger population lives. So the architecture of the conservation was built to create as well as defend this inviolate species. Okay, so according to the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, okay, it was underpinned by the robust legal and spatial strategy established by the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, we created new model for the protected areas. Now, every protected area, it has two zones, that is the buffer zone as well as the core area, or that is also known as the critical tiger habitat. Each tiger reserve, it has two parts, that is the core area, that is the critical tiger habitat, as well as the buffer zone surrounding it. So the core area is the legal status for a national park or a sanctuary, and it was kept free from biotic disturbances as well as any forestry operations. The goal was to create an inviolate space for tiger breeding, to ensure to create a very protected, safe area for tiger breeding as well as tiger population. Then on the periphery of the core area or the critical tiger habitat, we had the buffer zone. Now, this was the peripheral area with a mix of forest as well as non-forest land. And it was managed for multiple uses using the coexistence of human activities. Certain human activities are allowed in the buffer zone. And the goal was to provide supplementary habitat for dispersing tigers and absorb the human presence in the area. And the foundational legislation for establishment of the wildlife protection or for the establishment of tiger reserves. All the tiger reserves are declared under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Now, despite the launch of tiger reserves in the Project Tiger, it was noted that in the year 2005, in the Sariska Tiger Reserve, despite year of efforts, the public outcry in the 2005 revealed a very shocking failure, that the tigers were completely wiped from the Sariska Tiger Reserve in Rajasthan. Okay, so in the year 2005, it was seen that there were no tigers there were no tigers left in the Sariska Tiger Reserve. And but the official records claimed that the tigers were present. The pug mark census method, the old or the traditional methods in which we use pug marks to decide to count the number of tigers, that method proved highly unreliable. And this incident, it exposed a deep-seated issue with the administrative oversight. Okay? So it was seen that the tigers existed only on paper. Okay? This was deemed as a disaster. And following this, certain in 2006, in order to overcome this crisis, the Wildlife Protection Act was amended. Okay. Now, this Sariska debacle, it prompted for the Prime Minister Tiger Task Force. Okay, so this Prime Minister's Tiger Task Force was established after seeing the results of the Sariska Tiger Reserve, and it recommended the amendment for in the Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, so in the year 2006, the Wildlife Protection Act was amended. Okay, so in the year 2005, we had the Tiger Task Force was formed to investigate the systemic failures, and in the year 2006, with the amendment of the Wildlife Protection Act, the National Tiger Conservation Authority was established. Okay, so the NTCA or the National Tiger Conservation Authority was established in the year 2006 by amending the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So the NTCA is a statutory body under the Wildlife Protection Act. And since 2006, we also held every the tiger census in every 4 years. Okay? And in 2010, we deployed the M stripes this which is a GPS based system for robust patrolling and scientific data collection from the tiger reserves in order to increase our efficiency or to increase the methods, to improve the methods for counting the tigers. So till now, in 1972, the Wildlife Protection Act provided the legal framework for conservation. In the year 1973, the Project Tiger was launched with initial 9 tiger reserves. And in the year 2006, the National Tiger Conservation Authority was given the statutory status. It was established under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And over the years, we have seen that after the establishment of NTCA, after the systemic tiger census held in every 4 years, there has been a steady recovery of the tiger numbers. In the first All India Tiger estimation, by using after the establishment of NTCA, it was found that only 1411 tigers were left in the wild. Okay, so the post NTCA reforms and the first scientific census that we held, it showcased only 1411 tigers in the year 2006. In the second census held in the year 2010, the number increased to 1706. Then steadily, we have seen that in the latest All India Tiger estimation, it was done last in the year of 2022. The number of tigers in the country was 3682. Okay. And this upper estimate, this is the average number of tigers, and the upper estimate was 2925 tigers. And if we have to see the annual population growth rate, it comes out at 6.1% annual population growth rate. And now, out of all the wild tigers in the world, 75% of the world's wild tigers are living in India. And the states having top tiger population are Madhya Pradesh, followed by Karnataka, and then Uttarakhand. So the latest numbers of the All India Tiger Estimation of 2022 or the Tiger Census of 2022, they become important. So if we have to see, there has been an increase from 2967 to 3682. The number of tigers have increased, and states with highest number of tigers are Madhya Pradesh, followed by Karnataka, then Uttarakhand, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so if you have to arrange these states in decreasing order of their tiger population, so first comes Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. And there were certain states in which no tigers were found. That was the state of Nagaland, Mizoram, and the tiger numbers were very limited in states of Jharkhand, Goa, as well as Arunachal Pradesh. And moreover, the number of tigers in the tiger reserves, okay, the highest number of tigers were there in the Jim Corbett Tiger Reserve. So Jim Corbett Tiger Reserve had the highest number of tigers among all the tiger reserves in the country. And second was the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, okay, in Karnataka. Then followed by the Nagarhole Tiger Reserve. So the top 3 tiger reserves in the country having the highest number of tigers are Jim Corbett Tiger Reserve, the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Jim Corbett is in Uttarakhand. The Bandipur Tiger Reserve is in the state of Karnataka, and Nagarhole Tiger Reserve in the state of Karnataka. And in that same census, in the 2022 census, we have also observed a harsh truth that there were no tigers in certain tiger reserves, particularly the Dampa Tiger Reserve in Mizoram, the Kamlang Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh, the Kawal Tiger Reserve in Telangana, as well as Satkosia Tiger Reserve in Odisha and Shayadri Tiger Reserve in Maharashtra. There were no tigers were found in these tiger reserves. Now, if we have to look at the distribution of tigers in India, so we have 5 landscapes. Okay, we have 5 major landscapes in which tigers are found in the country. The first landscape is the Shivalik Hills and the Gangetic Plains. Shivalik Hills and the Gangetic Plains. This is the first landscape. The second landscape is the Central India and Eastern Ghats. This is the second landscape. Central India and Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats is the third landscape that we have. The fourth landscape is the Northeast India. And the fifth landscape is the Sundarbans. Now, out of all these five landscapes, the landscape having the highest number of tigers is the Central India and Eastern Ghats. Okay? So the Central India and Eastern Ghats, this large landscape, it has the highest number of tiger population as recorded in the recent uh, All India Tiger Estimation or the Tiger Census of 2022. Okay, this is followed by the Western Ghats, then the Shivalik Hills and Gangetic Plains, and then Northeast India, and finally the Sundarbans is the landscape having the least number of tiger numbers or the least tiger population. Now, the NTCA, regarding this NTCA, so this All India Tiger Estimation or the Tiger Census is an initiative of NTCA. NTCA is a statutory body that was established in the year 2006 under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Now, the chairperson of the NTCA is the minister in charge of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So, the Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the chairperson of the NTCA, that is the National Tiger Conservation Authority. And the NTCA implements major tiger initiatives like the Project Tiger and the Tiger Conservation Plan. So the Project Tiger is implemented by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. And regarding the powers and functions that this NTCA has, so the NTCA approves the state's tigers conservation plan, as well as it disallows any ecological unsustainable land use such as mining, industry, and other projects within the tiger reserves. And it also lays down certain norms for the tourist activity inside the tiger reserves or near the tiger reserves. And it is also responsible for addressing the conflict between the humans as well as the wild animals or tigers. And it approves, coordinate research and monitoring on tigers and associated ecology. And it is also the body that is responsible for ensuring that the tiger reserves are and the protected areas are not diverted for ecologically unsustainable uses. So that was all about the NTCA, the National Tiger Conservation Authority, that you have to remember for the examination. Now, if we have to talk about the global initiatives in tiger conservation, so first such initiatives is the International Big Cat Alliance. Now, this was launched by India and it aims for the conservation of seven big cats. Now, please note that the International Big Cat Alliance is not exclusively for tigers, but it is for seven big cats, namely the tigers, the lions, leopards, snow leopards, cheetah, jaguar, and puma. And the headquarter of the International Big Cat Alliance is in India. And India is home to five of these big cat population except for puma and jaguar. India inhabits all the five big cats. Earlier, we did not have the cheetahs, but we have relocated cheetahs from Africa. We have reintroduced cheetahs in the country. The aim of this International Big Cat Alliance is to foster international cooperation for conservation of seven big cat species and to enhance knowledge exchange on big cats and the solutions and to raise the global awareness. Then the second initiative in this regard is the Global Tiger Initiative. Now, this is a global alliance. The Global Tiger Initiative is a global alliance of governments, of international organizations, civil society, and conservation and scientific communities, as well as the private sector. So, it is an alliance of the public sector, of the private sector, of the civil society, as well as the scientific community. And this Global Tiger Initiative is led by the 13 tiger range countries. Okay, so 13 tiger range countries in which the tigers are found in the wildlife or the tigers are found in wild. So they are the tiger range countries. And it includes organizations like the World Bank as well as the Global Environment Facility. The aim of the Global Tiger Initiative is to work together to save the wild tigers from extinction. And in the year 2013, okay, the scope was broadened to include the snow leopards. Okay, so another point to note is that the Global Tiger Initiative is also not exclusively for reserved for tigers. It also includes the snow leopards. Under this, we have the TX2 program or the TX2 initiative. Now, this was endorsed during the Petersburg Declaration on Tiger Reserve in the year 2010. Okay, so in the year 2010, a summit was held in St. Petersburg in Russia, where the 13 tiger range countries, the delegates from these countries, they came together and they specified a goal to double the number of wild tigers across the geographical areas by 2022. Okay, so in the next 12 years, they decided that the number of wild tigers in the world, we have to double that population. Okay, now, the World Wildlife Fund for Nature or the WWF is implementing the program in the 13 tiger range countries, and India has already achieved this TX2, that is, India has successfully doubled the number of tigers by the year 2022. Then we have next global initiative, that is the Conservation Assured Tiger Standards. Now, Conservation Assured Tiger Standards, or the CATS that we commonly call it, is a global certification scheme. It is a global certification program and essentially a conservation tool which was launched in the year 2013, and the idea is to set best practice standard for effective management of wild tiger populations as well as the habitats. Okay. So it is structured around 7 pillars. The 7 pillars include the management, community, tourism, protection, habitat management, as well as the tiger population. Now, as of 1st April 2025, currently, the International Big Cat Alliance serves as the secretariat and hosts this cats taking over from the previous management structures. And over 134 registered sites across 7 countries, particularly Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Malaysia, Nepal, and Russia. All of them are the tiger range countries. Okay. And in India, 23 tiger reserves have got the accreditation from the cats. Okay. So 23 tiger reserves in the country. Recently, like the Kali Tiger Reserve, the Melghat Tiger Reserve, the Navegaon Tiger Reserve, the Pilibhit, and the Periyar Tiger Reserve, they are all included under the CATS program, or they have got accreditation from the CATS. Recently, this was originally developed for tigers. This conservation assured model, it was originally developed for tigers, but now it has been adapted to other species, the conservation of other species, particularly for the jaguars. That is, now we have the conservation assured for jaguar standards, and for the river dolphins as well. Now we also have the conservation assured for river dolphin standards. The final global initiative that we have is the Global Tiger Forum. And this is the only intergovernmental and international organization dedicated exclusively to the conservation of wild tigers. So all the initiatives that we have discussed till now, be it the International Big Cat Alliance or the Global Tiger Initiative or the Conservation Assured, they were not exclusively for tigers only. Okay? So this Global Tiger Forum is exclusively, it is the only intergovernmental and international organization that works exclusively to conserve the tigers in the wild. This was established in the year 1994 following the recommendations from the International Symposium on Tiger Conservation. In the year 1993, a tiger conservation symposium was held in New Delhi, and as a result of which it was decided to establish the Global Tiger Forum. It is headquartered in New Delhi, India, and the General Assembly of the Global Tiger Forum, it meets every 3 years. And the forum consists of the 7 tiger range countries, the non-tiger range nations, as well as the international NGOs. The member countries include the Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, India, Myanmar, Nepal, and Vietnam. And among the non-official or the non-tiger range members, the United Kingdom joined it in the year 1999. Also, some of the global NGOs like the WWF, the Traffic, the US Fish and Wildlife Service, they are also the associate members of the Global Tiger Forum. Now, if we have to summarize the conservation of tigers in India or the Project Tiger, so this project was launched in the year 1972, in the year 1973 to save the tigers because we were in the crisis that only 1827 tigers were left in the wild, okay, according to the 1972 nationwide census. So as a result, the Project Tiger was launched. It is a conservation program that started with 9 tiger reserves. Currently, we have more than 50, we have 55. That is, we have 58 tiger reserves currently. And the current tiger population in India is officially it is 3,682, and India is home to 75% of the global tiger population, the global wild tiger population. Okay, according to the Project Tiger, we have used this core buffer zone strategy to divide the or you to segregate the protected areas into the core zone as well as in the peripheral zone or the transition zone. Now, the conservation of tigers over the years have remained one of the favorite areas for UPSC to ask questions. Okay. This particular question was asked in the year 2017 in the prelims paper of 2017. The term M stripes is sometimes seen in the news in the context of the captive breeding of wild fauna, the maintenance of tiger reserves, the indigenous satellite navigation system, and security of national highways. So the correct answer here is the maintenance of tiger reserves, as we have already discussed. Okay. So it was for maintenance. It's a tool for maintenance or to count the number of tigers or to maintain the tiger reserves. This M stripes was deployed in the year 2000. This was deployed in the year 2000. Then in the year 2020, another question was asked on tiger reserves. That is, among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under the critical tiger habitat? That means which has the largest core area. So the correct answer here was the Nagarjuna Srisailam Tiger Reserve in the state of Andhra Pradesh. It is the largest tiger reserve in the country by area, and therefore it also has the largest critical tiger habitat, or that is the largest core area.